Hi, world. Dr. Shirley here. I am so excited. Another episode of Surviving Singleness series. And this time I have a beautiful couple. And it happened to be one of my friends from high school, Hope and her new man, her husband. And we're going to get
That's
to
right.
hear we're going to get to hear their story, a beautiful love story. I'm excited. You can see the joy in them. But again, I just want everybody to know this is unscripted. This is raw, it's real, it's live. And the purpose of this is to help people to understand relationships are beautiful, but at the same time, when you're in your singleness, it's okay to wait for what you want, for the beauty of something beautiful. We don't have to do things the world's way. We
That's right.
don't have to do what entertainers are entertaining and making it seem like that's what we have to do. We can do things differently to have a godly, loving, respectful relationship. So, everybody's story is different. Everybody's journey is different. Y'all know how I feel about respecting differences. And this is one of the reasons why that I'm doing this. So, without further ado, I want to welcome and thank Mr. and Mrs. Tucker. Introduce yourself, y'all.
I'll let you do the honors, babe. Introducing us.
Well, I need to introduce her first. This is my lovely wife, Hope Tucker, who is the love of my life. My name is Verandel Tucker, and I'm her husband. The love of her life.
That means she's off the market. She's taken, sealed, solid, done.
Oh,
He put a ring on it. He put a ring on it.
and she put a ring on it.
So they are off the market.
That's correct.
I love it. Go ahead. So tell us your story. And Mr. and Mrs. Tucker, how did this come about?
Sorry, we had to steal some kisses real quick.
That's all right. That's all right. Go ahead.
You want me to tell it, or you want?
You know what? There are different versions, but it's all still one version. All came together. And
Okay.
you want to talk about it? Huh?
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, we met at a jazz concert. And
Okay.
I hadn't initially, I was kind of reluctant about even going to the jazz concert because I just got tired of going to places and stuff by myself or whatever. So I ended up going to the jazz concert. And I ran into a young lady that used to go to my church. And as I was talking to her, and I looked beside her and saw this beautiful lady. And I asked her, I said, who's your friend over there? She said, that's Hope. I said, Hope, but keep Hope alive. All right. So she started smiling. You know, you got to get that smile on the lady first. And when she started smiling, so that opened up conversation. So I just had, just surface conversation with nothing too deep. And we still started talking, gave her my card. And I said, well, I'm on Facebook and my telephone number, everything is here. So you can call me if you desire. So at that time I left and went back into the concert. So I wasn't aggressive with her. So I went back into the concert and sat down. And when I sat down, the Holy Spirit spoke to me. Go find that young lady. That's the one. So I got up, I was obedient. I could not tell you to this day who was on stage singing. I got up, right. I left out, and she was standing right there in the lobby. And I was
wow.
Yes. So I went up to her and I said, look, I know I gave you my number. I don't believe or trust that you're gonna call me.
Because I wasn't gonna do it.
So I need to get your phone number because I'm gonna call you. There's no way in the world I'm gonna let this get away. No. So I called her and then she responded. No. first of all, at the end of that evening, we went downstairs to the ballroom to dance.
Yeah.
And as we were dancing, it just felt the vibes. It just felt so natural. It's like, man, this is nice. And the way she was dancing and responding and doing certain moves and stuff, I was like, yeah.
What? You're gonna have to clean that up a little bit.
But she was very classy. But she was pointing at me when she was just dancing. So it wasn't nothing, provocative or anything. It was just very nice and clean dance. And which I noticed that in her. I noticed the class. I said, that's a classy lady. She was dressed, and I said, man, this is nice here. So I stayed, knowing I had to go to work the next day. So I stayed and talked for a little while. Then I had to leave and go to work. And I ended up calling her, made sure she got home that evening, because I was gonna follow up on that phone call. I was let me know. I was gonna let nobody else, nothing else come in between us. Like, oh no, I'm gonna make this phone call. Yes, it is me. And then we followed up then, and our first outing was at the a vegan spot that we favor a lot.
Yeah.
And we sat down because I told her I was plant-based. And so she agreed. She said, well, she used to be plant-based, and the way she was saying is that, I don't mind doing that again. I was like, wow.
Okay.
So we went there and sat down and ate and started talking. And it was just so natural. Just the vibes was just.
It was very.
It wasn't, we didn't have to put on a show.
That's right.
It was just so natural. Everything just flowed. We had laughter, which is very important. We just laughed and cut up and just had a wonderful time. Just had a wonderful time. And the rest is history.
My version, short and sweet.
Go ahead, Hope. Keep hope alive.
Look, I walked in. God's light was shining on me. He found me. He stalked me that night. And we're here. He told me, listen, I'm going to marry you. And here we are.
Here we are. I'll be obedient. I'll follow.
Right. It was 13 months later, and he was true to his word. He made me his wife.
But in the meantime, I did ask her, and I made my request known, and I told her up front. I said, look, I'm not looking for a play toy. I'm not looking to just mess around. Been there, done it. Tired of that.
All right.
I am looking for a wife. And her response was, I am a wife. I said, my God. I said, man, that's what I'm talking about. Yes. I said, where's the pastor?
The right answer.
I was looking for a pastor at that point. Can we take care of this right now?
That's all right. That's what I'm talking about. Make it clear and plain for her to understand.
That's right.
And she can follow. But like, you lead, I'll follow.
That's right. Absolutely.
And that's exactly what happened. Even when it came down to, like we was talking earlier, talking about the celibacy. And I told her, I said, look, if we weren't going to be blessed, we have to do it God's way.
Absolutely.
Because other ways, that just doesn't work. We have to make sure we become friends and make sure we understand each other. And we didn't have to alter our personalities.
No, not at all.
Even to this day.
And not at all.
We have our own individuality, and we just respect each other, and it's wonderful. It's wonderful. I go all day talking about,
Talk about that a little bit, okay? Because you say you guys were celibate. Now, before you got married, when y'all were dating, had y'all both been celibate before y'all came together and said, "Oh yeah," and then say to each other, "We're gonna be celibate till we get married." Talk to me about that a little bit.
Yes, because at the time I had just given up on dating for about 1.5 years. I just say, you know what? I'm tired. I'm tired of the games. I just surrendered to God and say, God, I need you to order my steps, make me, mold me to be a husband. mold me so when I meet my wife, that I don't have any luggage, no baggage, none of that. Clean my plate completely. So that when we get together, I don't have to turn my telephone over. I don't have to ignore calls or try to hide. None of that. I just came straight. I just came naked. This is me. I don't have to hide anything. And that was the beauty of it. And that made me just feel so good, because I knew that she was observing me to make sure that I was true to my word.
Absolutely.
Because, anybody can say that to try to get with a person where, what we can just do that. And then when the time comes, your flesh gets weak. No. Now it was times that it was times that, yes, we wanted to, but we didn't.
Yeah.
Because we didn't want to mess up. We wanted to honor God. So we made a commitment to God. Say, God, this is the only way, because we want to be blessed in our union. That we're not gonna mess up.
That's right. And for me, the journey of being abstinent from sex started about 4 months before I met Veranda.
Okay.
Had recently, I won't say recently, most recently, but newly divorced and was dating. Well, on the way to divorce, and was out there dating, so to speak. And I just came to a point in my life where I was like, you know what, there's more to me than just giving myself away. I wanted to learn more about myself. I wanted to get closer to God. And I just made a decision. I mean, like literally one day I just got up and I was like, this is what I'm going to do. And I started transitioning my life to that point. So when I met Veranda, it was refreshing when he told me that, he was on the same journey. Because one of my prayers was, I said, Lord, if whoever it is that you're going to send me, because I had no doubt that God was going to send me another husband. But I just knew, I said, God, whoever is coming to me, they cannot make it difficult for me. Where I am with you, my relationship with you, if they're leading me or trying to lead me away from you, that's not who you need me to be with. And so it was quite refreshing when he began to share his journey with me about his decision to be celibate. And so it just made it easy. It made it, we were practicing being on one accord without actually being united as one, in marriage. So it just made the dating, which I really don't want to say dating, because it was truly a courtship to me. Like he shared before, he made his intentions known out the gate. I knew what I wanted and what my desires were, and everything just lined up. And so it was just a matter of us walking it out. So we just walked it out.
So now, when y'all decided to walk it out together, how long into the relationship? Because you said, you told her straight up, okay, I'm looking for a wife. And she said, I am that wife. She said, yes, let's do this. And you knew both of you were walking this walk of celibacy. And I think it was like 13 months, if I'm correct, until y'all get married.
Yeah.
Married? Okay.
Yeah.
So what made y'all decide 13 months from now that we're going to get married? How did that time frame come along?
Well, honestly, there wasn't really a set time frame. It just honestly just happened that way. Did you even really propose to me? We were sitting, seriously, we were sitting at the gas station.
At the gas station.
What are you doing in December? What should I be doing in December?
Around what month was this?
Right. You want to get married? Sure. Let's get married. What day? Okay. How about this day? I mean, literally, it happened that way because I would have to say, because he made his intentions known from the beginning, it was just for me, just a matter of him saying when. I was ready. I was going to be ready. regardless. Like really, I was gonna be ready. So because there were different things that unknown to him, but you know, God was dealing with my heart and preparing my heart for him. So there was things of preparation that God was doing, you know, telling me to kind of do this and have this ready and, you know, just be ready. So when he said, not too many people can pull off a wedding in less than 2 months. And I was able to do that because I mean, literally everything was lined up. My bridesmaids, everyone knew who was going to be a part of it. And so, I mean, everything was kind of
less than 24 hours.
All right now.
Less than 24 hours. She had everything left. So I couldn't even back out at that point. It's like, oh no, the world knows now. I'm like, oh no. I said, oh my God. I got a book, how to be a husband, everything. She gave me both had books. I said, Lord.
Yes, we did.
Said, no backing out.
Huh?
You said no backing out now.
Oh, no.
Not at all. Not at all. So I mean, so honestly, the 13, it just happened to be that way. But if he had asked me 6 months into it, it would have been the same yes, and let's do it. So
that was like what? And like you guys had been dating a year. How many months into it prior to him proposing in the car? Had to guess.
That was
what was that? That was October. So October was
okay.
11 months. 11 months. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I even knew when I don't know if I'm getting ahead of your questions or anything, but even when we went to the restaurant, the second time we went out was for Thanksgiving.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I took her to meet my family.
Okay.
Up and my cousin has
the second time being in his presence. Yes.
I knew. I said,
wow.
So
now that's a man that knows what he wants.
Oh yeah. Like I said, she was going through a divorce at the time. She was going through a divorce, and this is important also because she was going through a divorce at the time. And I told her in conjunction with other stuff I talked about, I said, we can only be friends because you are married. And men, everybody
respecting that. Mm-hmm.
I had to respect that. I said, you are still a married woman.
Yeah.
We could be friends. We can go out occasionally, no kissing, no hugging. I mean, just maybe a little small, the church hug.
You didn't even do a church hug.
It might not have been.
You were serious.
No, it was. Yeah.
You were serious. He was very serious.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Because God laid it on my heart.
Not contemporary with God.
That's right.
God laid it on my heart, and he told me just how he just orchestrated this thing right on through according to him and according to his plan. And when I took her to see my family, and because it was up in the mountains, I had let her, because I had to park the car, so I let her get out. So when she got out and I parked the car, I went inside. She was in there mingling with everybody. I was like, yes, because that's very important also. She just blended right on in with the family. I was like, wow. And then after a while, after dinner, all my cousins would look at me, wink their eye like, and I'm like, we crossed that threshold, yes. So it's always good to take someone around your family, especially if you're real close to your family, because your family, people see things that you don't see. And how she was able to mingle and interact with my family, it was beautiful. When I walked in, I was just full of joy. I was like, yes, she's a people person. Mm-hmm. She loved to have fun, just laughing and cutting up. It was wonderful. It was. It just made me feel. It just made me feel more comfortable around her.
Okay.
And we just talked. My sister rode with us. Mm-hmm. Because I guess she felt more comfortable by having somebody else in the car, because we had to go up into the mountains and we lose reception.
This is my second time being around this man, and he taking me to the mountains. No, I need a chaperone. Your sister coming? Okay, yes.
So she felt
He said, that's
secure
gonna
at
keep
that
us
point.
all straight.
Right.
So that's that security blanket
That's
there.
right.
And because she had talked to her sons and saying, well, we might lose reception there. Mom, where are you going?
That's right.
Like, can we get that address? What is his family name?
Exactly.
It's like, who is this? What mountains are you going to?
That's right. That's right.
So
Now,
everything
how
just,
did you feel, Hope? How did you feel when he took you the second time after you met him to meet his family?
Honestly, I was taken when he asked me to, to join him and his family for Thanksgiving. And I was like, wow, really? Okay. But once I got there, like he says, I'm a people person anyway.
Yeah,
And so it felt like I belonged in the family. I mean, it just felt, yeah, it did. Everyone was so nice and sweet and made me comfortable. So yeah, it was good. There was no fear. There was no fear at all.
Okay. So now tell me, I know there's something that you do, Mr. Verando.
yes.
Did I say it right?
I know the tongue
Look,
twister.
you slowed down to say that.
Yeah.
Every syllable.
What do you do that definitely attracted her and be like, okay, he's a businessman? Tell us a little bit about that.
About my business? Or what did
What
you
is
said?
it
What,
that you do? What do you do?
I'm a professional bespoke custom clothier. So I have a
Okay.
clothing store downtown Norfolk in the business
Okay.
district. And I've been in business for over 25 years. So I'm a designer and a consultant.
Okay.
So guys,
Okay.
guys come in, I take the measurements, we pick out the cloth, they design it, we design it together, and that's what I do. In custom suits, custom shirts, overcoats, tuxedos, the whole 9 yards. And in addition to that, I have my own cologne line, also grooming line. There are other products that can become, this is Verando's signature. She's my marketing person.
That's what got me. The smell of that signature, honey.
Smell it right now. See how he smell. How he smell.
Yes, that's what got me, honey. That signature scent, baby.
This is the secret formula.
And it's Hope approved because we keeping Hope alive.
That's right.
And I'm located downtown Norfolk at 132 Granby Street.
Details on Granby.
On Granby.
It say come get the signature. Come get the signature formula that got you your wife.
Hello, somebody.
And we also ship. We will ship it to you as well. So you have to go through my wife. She handles just my marketing, because she handles this side of the business.
And so what we're gonna have to do is make sure that we put whatever email or website, so that way people, as they're watching the video and they get attracted to this new scent, this signature that caught Miss Hope, attention and smell, like whoo, because nothing like getting a woman's good sense, and so we're like, ooh, that's a nice smelling man. And so and so we'll have to make sure we get some other men out there with that scent out there.
That's right.
It's Hope approved. So now back to the relationship aspect. Okay, what was it like for you before you met Hope? You said that a part of you had given up on dating. Why is that? And let's have you move over a little bit. You seem to be going on this side.
There we go, baby. There you go. You say.
Go ahead. I just need to do something different. Just got tired. Got tired of the young ladies that I run into dating at the time. It seemed like everybody just had a hidden agenda, or it was just too much drama. And I'm at a point in my life, and then I just wanted I didn't have any drama. So I don't want to be involved with anybody with a whole bunch of drama and got a bunch of issues and always not willing to give. Also, that's important. And just wasn't the personalities just clash and just the chemistry just wasn't there. So that's why I just pulled back and say, you know what? I'm just gonna wait, just trust God and wait on Him. And I'm a firm believer of that. Just put it in His hands. He will give you the desires of your heart. And He gave it to me. And the right thing. Yeah.
Yes.
Hope, don't disappear now. You don't need to disappear, Hope.
I was trying to give him some shine.
I think both of y'all got some shine on y'all, it's like that Holy Spirit, that love and peace. Like,
That's
no,
right.
You good. You are now one, and so you can stay right there. You don't need to disappear.
That's right.
Yeah, because when you keep doing things the same way, you're gonna get the same results. So in order to get different results, you got to change. That's right. If you're talking about the definition of insanity. So I just decided to do things differently and get more into myself also, to understand who I am and to be true to myself. And being true to yourself is to know who you are as an individual.
That's right.
And I had an opportunity also to spend some time, which I share with her, the man in the mirror. And I actually took time out one time, and this happened a while back. I went into my bathroom and it was just God and I looked in the mirror. I said, God, I need you to show me me. And He broke me down and made me realize who I am in Him and who He has created me to be. And I just had to do things differently. So I can go on and on and on about that, but it's just, you just had to be true to, first you had to be true to yourself and know what you want and just don't compromise.
That's it.
You can't compromise because you're gonna be miserable if you compromise, because you cannot be yourself. And that's something that every day, we are our own individual selves. We respect each other's time, space, and everything.
That's right.
No drama, none, zero.
Now, what would you say to some of these young men and men our age and older, that are still out there, just, how can I put it, thinking that it's okay to be out there, I know you talked about you got tired of the drama, you got tired of being out there and so forth. What would you say to those men that still haven't reached that point?
Like I was saying earlier, just be true to yourself. Understand what you desire, what you want. And a lot of it stems back even the way you grew up, the models in your life. And if you don't know how to find out what you want, find a mentor, somebody to talk to. Look at other men, associate with people who are successful in marriages and find out really what works, and have even your friends to be honest and transparent to you and let you know your faults also. So you have to just know who you are as a person inside, because if not, you'll be out there chasing and chasing and chasing, and you'll find yourself going through that repeated cycle. It becomes repetitive, that you're doing the same thing over again. Next thing you know, because time waits for nobody. And then you're getting older. And then you're getting older. Next thing you know, you start breaking down and all of a sudden, who's gonna want you then? Go ahead and make a decision. Make a decision if you desire.
If that's your desire.
To be married.
That's right.
That's not everybody's desire. Some people just like to play and be single the rest of their life. Some people just don't want to make that commitment because they feel that they have to change their lifestyle. They have to do, they don't want to be accountable. The accountability. It means a lot. I love it. I love it. I love coming home every day. It just warms my heart to come home
Oh.
because there's peace.
Mhm.
This is like a sanctuary. Man, understand when you have the right lady in your life, the right wife in your life, that becomes your sanctuary. And you talk about things together and you make sure that it's right. Just like what we went through in the beginning, we knew it was right.
That's right.
But if you have any doubts and you can't talk about and be transparent with the person that you're dating or whatever, then don't spend a lot of time, because time is precious. Don't spend a lot of time. Ask certain questions. Be observant. Check the person out. And if that person, if y'all if you mesh together, make it happen. But if not, continue to date whatever. But in the meantime, just try to be right. Even if it hasn't worked for extended period of time, just take some time off for yourself to find out who you are and what you're looking for. Just back up from dating, like I did. Just take some time off for yourself. The temptation would be out there and say, no, that's okay. Because then you're gonna find yourself back in that trap again. Just pull back, say no. You might have some friends you talk to occasionally, whatever, but just nothing else. And I pull back completely. I just didn't want to be
What do you
bothered
mean
with it
you
all.
pull back completely?
Even
Explain that. What do you
communication,
mean?
even trying, because I didn't want to waste time. Because then you start talking to somebody, well, can't we get together sometime? And that's not the person for you. Why should I take my time to get to know you when I know there's no chemistry, there's nothing there in the beginning? When I meet, I say, no, there's no need, no, I'm good. I'm good right now. I'm not interested in dating right now. I'm just spending time with myself until I find, the right one for me. So you just have to be true to yourself.
So basically, you cut off any and all females that you had any sexual relations with, or any females that were friends with benefits.
Absolutely. Cut.
So you are completely like solo. You're like, I'm waiting on God. I'm doing this the right way.
Right. Even going to events. Start going to events and stuff by myself. Because at one time I was going to, because I was involved in a lot of different organizations, different events, going to different things, and taking a lady here this year, next year I might take somebody different and take somebody. No, I got tired of this. Like, this is not good. It doesn't look good for anybody that's in the spotlight, in so many words, being in business. Because I have a lot that, I'm very sociable. A lot of people know me. I've been in business for a while. And you just get a bad rap behind that. People just saying, man, he's for so-and-so now, he's with this person now. Man, it's not a good look. So I just had to pull back from all of them. Some events I stopped going to because I just got tired of going by myself. And I wanted to make sure when I go, I'd have this person that's my future with me. So it's like I say, just have to be true to yourself. And it's a process. It wasn't easy. It's a process because you get lonely sometimes. Yeah, you get lonely sometimes, but you just have to stay busy. There's always something for me to do. I can always find things to do.
Yes, you do.
I can always
sit still for nothing.
Always find things.
Look, he's over here moving now, itching to.
I'm involved in my church. Yeah, I'm involved in church. I'm a percussionist at my church. So I'm constantly listening to music and playing. And we have a family history. We have a family cemetery. So I'm out there with my cousin. We're working out there. We're doing things with the family, speaking engagements, things that we involved in with the William Tucker 1624 Society, which is the name of our family organization. So I'm constantly involved with something. I use a lot of gestures when I talk to. So.
Hey, do not feel bad because of the fact, one, busy is one of my my motto. Busy is good. Then busy keeps me out of trouble. And I am a very hand motion person. Sometimes when I get in certain places, I have to sit on my hands because people are like, "You use your hands a lot." I said, "I know." But thank you for sharing. And it's good. It's always good to hear a male's perspective that is
That's right.
different, that is mature.
Mhm.
Because sometimes people get this idea that, oh, a man is a man that's all with all these women and da 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 da. No, a good man is a mature
Oh, we
man.
got some connections.
We're having some
Hello.
slight technical difficulties. You froze on us.
I know you're there. Oh man, it completely froze.
It did.
That knows what he wants and
It
recognizes, and makes it
is.
clear to a woman or other men to hear that you are not, they're not alone. The ones that
We can
are.
we can understand a while.
Wait, connect issues.
Are doing or trying to do. For the other ladies who are out there, like, oh, there's no good men out there. Oh my
And
God.
it used up all the
Just
time.
that. So how did you get to the point where you were good?
Wait a minute, Shirley, you froze. I can't.
Okay, we had some technical difficulties, and so we are back. I had to pause for a little bit and change my scenery to get a little closer to the internet. Technology. I tell you. But again, I want to say thank you to Verando for sharing. And I want to ask Hope, tell us your story, Hope. What was it like to meet a man that says, "I'm gonna wait for you, and this is my expectation"? What was that like?
Listen, it was a breath of fresh air. Um, Knowing my own personal struggles with um, understanding who I am. Um, I had a woman in the mirror experience, and you shared your man in the mirror. I had my woman in the mirror experience with God. I had literally gotten sick of myself. I mean, literally one day I had, I got up and I just literally, I couldn't even really look at myself in the mirror. I was so disappointed in how I was living. I knew deep down inside, like, this isn't you. Like, this isn't the woman that you are. This isn't the woman of God that you are. This isn't the mother that you are, being an example to my sons and to my daughter-in-law. And I just knew, I said, God, help me. I mean, it was literally just that, help me. So it was that, standing in the mirror and really dealing with the ugliness of what I had become, and allowing God to deal with the ugliness of what I had become. And I just gave it all to him. And so when I met Veranda, again, like I shared before, I said, Lord, whoever it is, I'm not a dater, so to speak. So I was like, whoever comes into my life, this has to be someone who wants to be a husband to me, because I'm a wife. I know that is one of the roles that God has called me to, and I enjoy being a wife. And so I just said, whoever it is, Lord, he has to come knowing who he is, and one who's not going to lead me away from you. And so when I met Veranda, everything about what he said to me, it just lined up. So it made it very easy for me to continue my journey in becoming the woman that God has called me to be, and the mother and the wife now to him, that God has called me to be. It just made the journey a lot easier. Yes, there were challenging moments. Yes, we are wrapped in flesh, and flesh, he came around me smelling all good and signature and stuff.
You're like,
So yeah, so yes, there were moments where, it became a challenge, but the beauty of it all was because we were both on one accord as to what we wanted, we held each other accountable. What did you say you wanted to do? Well, we said we were going to wait. I said I was going to wait. Well, that's what we're going to do, So it just made the journey even more beautiful. It made it very peaceful. It made it, I don't know, I felt like I was becoming one before we actually became one, to be honest with you. You know, it just made everything very joyous, very joyous. So yeah.
What would
Thank
you
you,
say
baby.
was your greatest challenge before you guys got married?
The greatest challenge before we got married.
Yes.
Woo! Girl, taming this flesh. I mean,
So he was
taming this
smelling
flesh.
good, looking good, and you're like,
Listen,
good Lord.
I mean, honestly, in a nutshell, that's what it was, taming this flesh. I was like, And so I'm one, you know, God has been working with me. He's been dealing with my
Girl,
heart.
God working with all of us. God working with all of us.
Listen, because I'm one when I want something, I want it and I go for it, right?
Girl,
So
I understand. I
this
understand.
was a test for me. I said, this man really means what he's saying. Like he is not bending, you know, and you know, sometimes we get in our little way, we gonna come out looking extra cute. And I'm gonna see what he really made. I'm gonna see if he really means what he says, right?
Right. If they're a man of his word.
Right. And every time he did not disappoint. He did not disappoint. He was a gentleman beyond gentleman. He still is, thank God. But you know, I felt very respected. I felt very valued. And it just made life beautiful. It's made life beautiful.
You went to the event.
Why are you whispering?
No. I just said,
oh yeah, okay. Prime example. So I think the third date, not really a date, friendship journey.
1, 2, and
friendship journey. He had invited me to an event that he frequent every year. And so he invited me to this event. So he asked me, you know, would you like to go? And I said yes. And out the gate, without me having to assume anything, he came back with, okay, I'll make the hotel reservation. And I said, okay, like we're gonna be, what does that mean? Like, we're gonna be in the same room with each other? I'm going away with you. So, but we were able to be in the same room. We had 2 separate beds.
Stop.
Kid you not.
Same room.
Same room, 2 separate beds. But let me
fix my hair. Let me fix my hair. Like,
but let me tell you what.
Stick my head a little bit. Like, hold on. Did I hear right?
Yes,
you said
ma'am.
Same room.
Same night. 2 separate beds. But let me tell you, so we got there. I was like, okay. So I mean, he gave me my space when I was getting dressed for the event. He got dressed and went downstairs so that I could have time and the privacy, you know, to get myself together for the event. And just being a true gentleman. And so even at the end of the night, it wasn't no hanky panky. It was I went and got in the shower, got myself together, and got in my bed, ran and got in my bed. I had on, I don't even know what I had on, but I was covered up. Ran and got in the bed, and he was in his bed, and it was good night. And we woke up the next morning. Night? Oh yeah, we went to sleep. We were tired.
I didn't ask if you were tired. I said, were you able to sleep that night? I'm just saying.
Yes, believe it or not, seriously though, yes, I was able to sleep because I felt even more secure that night. I said, this man means everything that he said to me. He did not make me feel uncomfortable. Exactly, did not make me feel uncomfortable. I didn't feel compromised in any way. So yes, I slept like a baby, hair tied up and everything. He got to see the ugly. Everything.
From the Cinderella to the little house servant in the house.
Exactly.
With the little rags.
Exactly.
And loved every bit of it.
And how were you feeling?
I
Then you
feel, you
had
know
this
what?
beautiful woman up in there with you, same room.
And I was
you
looking
like,
cute too, honey.
Well, let me
I know
tell you.
you were, girl. I know you were.
Well, let me tell you, it's a very prestigious event we went to in DC when my clients invite me every year. And it's a boule in for DC. And she told me, she said, look, I want you to go downstairs because I want to see the expression on your face when I come down. So I went down waiting in the lobby. Let me tell you, when she came down, whew, I said, my God, I'm ready to go back upstairs.
You're like, let me find a pastor. Let me go ahead and marry us tonight.
This is a test. So, graciously, we locked our arms and walked in, and we knew we were looking good that night. We knew we were looking good. And I said, my God, it was just a wonderful feeling. And we had a ball.
Yes, we did.
And after, we just graciously went back into the room, respected each other's space. She got in her bed, I got in my bed. We woke up the next morning, got dressed, and went and had breakfast with my client and his wife and some other people. And just, it was wonderful. And that's the part. And that's
and you were able to sleep that night.
Yeah, with one eye open. I said, she coming over? No,
you know what?
You're like, if ever this is a test, this is a test right
this
here.
Is a test.
Lord.
No, when I got in the bed, my eyes were closed. I was out. And we just had stuff. And you know what? Even at that whole journey, it's just becoming friends.
That's right.
Because anything can happen to any of us at any time.
That's right.
And you have to be able to have conversations, something to talk about and understand and respect the friendship. Because if you jump the gun and get into the sex and get into all this stuff, and it just loses its value. Right now, we just have we have a very strong foundation. We built the foundation first of friendship.
That's right.
And that's very important.
That's right.
We wake up laughing. We go to bed laughing. We laugh throughout the day, all day. We just have fun. We find some of the dumbest stuff to laugh about, just anything. Because I just like to laugh and play, and she does too, just anything. So, but go ahead. I'm gonna get ahead of your questions. Because I talk, when you get me started, I talk all day.
He's ready now. He's ready.
That's our, and like I said, this is unscripted. I do not have a list of questions or nothing around me to say this is what we're going to talk about. Like I shared with you guys, my prayer is just to help others that are out there struggling, looking for a good relationship, and knowing that it can be beautiful if you wait and if you do it the right way according to God. There are some people who have the belief that it's not possible. And I want to prove to society that there are people who have done it that way. And there are people who do know that, hey, let's respect each other first. Let's go ahead and respect each other's values and, and for the men, make the woman feel secure and valued.
That's right.
And any woman coming out of a divorce, it's like, am I going to be betrayed? Am I going to be mistreated? There's so much that go through a women's mind.
That's
and I hope maybe, you can say yay or nay for you. I know for me, it's like, can I have someone I'm going to feel secure with and feel that I can trust and feel like you're going to be my protector and you're going to affirm me and, and in turn, I can do the same for you. You know what I'm saying? And so in listening to the two of you, that's what I'm hearing. Randall came in and say, I got you. This is what I want from you. This is what I expect from you. And this is what I'm going to give you.
Right. That's
and I'm
right.
like, oh, snap. You made it clear for her. So she didn't have no question.
None, no guesswork, honey. Not an ounce of guesswork, and not 1 ounce. Every
And
step
that's
of the way.
beautiful.
Yes.
And in my opinion, that's what most women are looking for. A man that's going to
Absolutely.
be true to his word and help her be secure
That's
and
right.
make it clear of what he wants, and so when that is the case, the women then become empowered, and the men, what, girl,
Yeah, baby.
and what they say, a good strong man
Come
is
on.
only as successful as the strong woman he has.
That's right.
That's right.
You know what I'm
That's right.
saying? And I've always believed most men that are very powerful and successful is because they got a mighty strong and powerful woman behind the scenes, building
Right.
him up and supporting him.
That's
You
right.
know, but that's my woman's perspective. So Brando, you tell me, and hope you fill in. Y'all living, y'all tell me.
That's it. I mean, I concur with you. I mean, absolutely. I feel, whew, is there another word other than secure? I mean, goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. I mean, and empowered. And I feel like, he's given me more purpose in life, and so it's just wonderful. It's just wonderful.
Thank
It is.
you.
I love you.
I love you too.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
And it's and same here. She makes me feel valued, make me feel important, gives me a purpose. I look forward to it every day. And even with my grooming line, now our grooming line.
Look at that.
I know, like,
It's
ooh,
our,
our.
we, and us.
Our,
There you
we,
go.
and us.
Girl, that's
Hallelujah.
what's
High
up.
five, honey. Air
Amen.
high five.
Amen. I must stand in agreement with you. Amen and hallelujah to that.
She took, and I mentioned to her about the, come on, she said that she would just take over and run it for me. I was like, wow, man, that's what I'm talking about. She said, now, honey, she said, you know, what tell us. She said, I said, I'll pay you. She said, really? She said, well, how much you pay me? I said, I'm gonna pay you Cambodian wages. She said, how much is that? I said, 50 cents a bottle.
She like, what?
But she know we in this together.
That's right.
Yes.
That goes in the pot together. We in this together. That's part of, we just like to joke and laugh, but it makes me feel good that she was willing to step in the gap in a lot of areas. A lot of things. I might struggle with certain things, say, babe, what's this sound like? How does it sound? And she'll fill in the gap and just like, I think I never thought about that. So we kind of bounce off each other in a lot of ways. And even to the point now, we just read each other's minds on certain things. Even just for example, tonight, I was riding home, I said, well, I know she's not, she had a long day. She don't feel like cooking. I had a long day. I said, now it's either gonna be this one spot we go to, or it's gonna be pizza. And she said right here, she said tonight, she said, hey, what you think about pizza tonight? And that's not the first time it's happened.
That's true.
So it's good to be on the same accord, the same accord. It's just, how you think of life, how you see certain things, because we're in tune to each other.
That's right.
And it's wonderful feeling.
And I have to say that it makes me feel wonderful that he would trust me to step into something that he's been an established businessman for a very long time. And his grooming line has been, well, the cologne has been on the market since what, 2013?
Yes,
since 2013.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
to allow me to come in and just kind of, he just like, okay, you take it. that's what you do. And so to have that level of trust and confidence in me, to just like, here it is, like,
Right.
here it is. You take that. It just blesses my heart that he
Mhm.
would open, that part of his life and his heart to me. So that leaves me with the understanding that you'll open up everything to me now. Everything. Look at that face. You just said we,
I don't. We us,
us, ours, right?
we us, and mine.
I'm not feeling that.
He's like, well, let's think about this
Look,
clarity.
you said you came back pedal now.
Well, yours
so-
is mine. Mine is
Exactly.
mine.
No. We not going there.
Right, but it does make my heart rejoice to know that my husband has that level of confidence in me,
Mhm.
that he would just, he trusts me with,
Absolutely.
his life.
Yeah.
So yeah.
She stepped in the gap and just took over, just
Yeah.
made it work. And I was like, whoa, this is one thing I don't have to worry about, something off my plate. And she has the same interest in it as I do.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it work.
Yeah.
And that's the partnership, and that's we just value together.
Right.
And
So
just,
now So, Brenda, tell me, what would you say to the young women that are like, well, you know what, you're one of a kind. There's no men out there like you. I gotta sleep with a man to keep him. What would you say? And
I'm sure they are. They're so far, I'm sure they're so far in between, but like I always say, just be true to yourself and be consistent. That's one thing she tells me all the time. Consistency is very important. And to be honest,
That's right.
integrity is everything.
That's right.
And you have to just be straight up. If something's not working, just be straight. Everybody's different. If it's something that you don't like or something, be honest with your partner. Tell your partner, say, look, this is not working. And we tend to not to be transparent and honest with each other. But with me, I come from a home of two parents. Unfortunately, my mother passed some years ago, which is very dear to my heart. Matter of fact, her birthday is coming up Saturday, tomorrow actually. And the core values that were instilled in me through my parents, and especially my mother. My mother was a very loving, caring, sharing person. And my family knows that. They know I model pretty much after my mother, because my mother and I, you could not get air between us. We were so close. That's the relationship that we had. And I value that every day. And I can feel it just that, to do what I do and to be the man that I am is almost like she's still watching me, or she's rejoicing to say, that's I've done well. And she did well, and I value that. I value that a lot. And she just, I'm sure there are some good men out there, ladies, but I'm sure they're so far in between. But I just made it up in my mind who I wanted to be, what I wanted to be, what I can offer, and what it takes to make a woman feel good and make her feel secure and make her feel loved is very important. And yes, we don't always get it right, but most of the time, I that's my goal, is to get it right. And evidently, I got it right this time. Because I was married, years ago. I've been divorced. I'm a divorcee, and the first one didn't work. But after that, it didn't. I enjoyed the institution of marriage. I just wasn't right at that time. And it didn't leave a bad taste in my mouth because I know I always wanted to get married again.
Okay.
And I know that I'm a good man, and I know that I have a lot to bring to the table. And just, you know, just to show the love and respect and honor my wife, to honor her, because she is my life. You know, I have a beautiful daughter also that's in the process of getting married. And I had to make sure, yeah, she's getting married in October, and I had to make sure that I also can be that model for her, to let her know, because we've had father and daughter talks, and then let her know this is what, you know, men expect and whatever, and this is the type of man that you need to look for, or this is the type of man that needs to find you.
That's right.
But you need to identify who that person is so that he can be somewhat like your father. Like me. So it's just important. We have to, and men have to understand that your children are paying attention to you, whether you notice it or not. Even when they're young, as toddlers, they look and see, because that can determine whether or not, sometimes whether or not the person even want to get married, or if they were to get married, they know what to expect from a man. And you have to be that model person, because if not, they're gonna start questioning. If you out there messing around, doing certain things in front of your child, and say, oh, you know, when I get married, I'm not gonna ever be able to trust my husband, because he's the type of person who's gonna run around like my father did. And that's so important. And it doesn't take a lot of effort to do it. Just do what's right. There's right and there's wrong. Weigh it out. You find the right will always work, and it's everlasting.
That's the truth.
Everlasting. So just do what's right. We just passing through, and you want to leave that legacy among your children. As to what type of father, what type of man was my father, what type of man was my husband, or whatever. You want to leave a clean, respectable legacy. It is so important. And that you, like they always say, your word is your bond. You have to make sure that you live up to that and make it, you know, it's just, I go on and on and on about it. But
I was about to say, pass the plate. I mean, what?
I know, it's like, go ahead, take us to church. Take us to church.
Okay,
it's like, all right now.
It's a simple thing, but you know what? I don't come back and use that phrase. You know how people say, well, I'm not perfect. No, nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes, but clean up your mistakes. The things that you've done, clean it up. Or if you know you've done something, make amends to get it right.
That's right.
Because you have time to get it right. Because we stumble. All of us can stumble at some point in life.
Yes, we do.
But when you fall or whatever, or try not to fall, you might stumble, but try not to fall. And if you just gain your balance and get back up and get it right.
Keep on running.
That's right. That's right. Keep, just do what's right. That's all. My wife has me for life. For the next 100 and how many more years?
No.
We said 200 years.
200 years.
Dog years.
and infinity and beyond.
That's
correct.
Right.
Correct.
Right. That's right. So
I'm gonna stalk you in heaven. I'm gonna say, you remember me.
Like,
you said
spirit. Exactly. I'm your spirit. I'm your spirit. You my spirit. So what we doing here?
Some things I might be saying. Some people like, oh, he might be joking or just that. No, I'm serious about it, because I love peace. I love peace. I don't need to be hiding, ducking, dodging, any of that.
Hiding your phone.
I come home hiding the phone. That's right.
Yeah.
Peacefully. I don't have to question her about anything. Like today, I called her earlier today. She didn't call me back at all today. I'm not gonna get upset, babe. But what you doing? You didn't call me back with her? No, for what? One thing you did say something earlier about trust. We have that. If we don't, she always reminds me, if I can't trust you, I don't need to be with me.
Absolutely not.
We trust each other. It's not a problem. I don't need to call you. Why you didn't call me back? And who is that? Who is that? No. That's you establish that from the beginning. That's why I said clean up your mess. And that goes up. You said what I tell people and guys, clean up your mess before you decide to make that commitment. Because that commitment is a contract that you're making with God, which is a covenant. Once you establish that covenant under God, you're accountable for everything that you do. So if you're not ready for that, don't get married.
Verndale, let's be a little bit more specific. What do you mean, clean up your mess, guys?
With other women, if you're not sure, say, I just got, I got this lady I need to, on the side, or you might be at work, you might have something going on, somebody might be hypothetically, you talking about being married or the single? Being married, correct?
No, as a single man, you
As a
said
single
clean
man?
it up. Mm-hmm.
Get rid of all this stuff.
What does clean up look like? What does that mean?
With me, I let everything go and became just solo, just became by myself. So I didn't have to bring anything to the table. I didn't have to come to Hope and say, you know what, that's one of my old girls and this and that. No, all that. If I took a year and a half to not see anybody, do you think they're gonna call me after a year and a half, especially they know that I'm married at that point? No, they done forgot all about me. They done moved on.
But what about, say, if a woman did call you up and be like, hey, how you doing? It's been a minute. You know how the saying goes, usually people leave you alone when you just want to be by yourself, but then the minute you start seeing somebody or you're interested in somebody, all the fleas and everything come out from the closet.
That's right.
Let me bring you up to date. Okay. I'm a happily married man. So I don't think it's not a good idea to call me anymore. So go ahead, continue with life. And nothing negative about it, because you don't want to burn the bridges. You just want to set it straight up front. So that person don't have to try to get in deeper into a conversation with you about, so we can get together sometime. No. I'm a happily married man. And at that point, just hope they just wish me well. They say, okay, well, you take care of yourself and just keep moving. Mm-hmm. And that's it. Just clean up. Don't bring no mess into a marriage. Mm-hmm. Clean up that mess, because if not, it's going nothing but cause a lot of confusion. And then your mind becomes divided. You can't concentrate on your wife or what other things, the things you can nurture your relationship, because that's what is important. That's what is, we're here to nurture the relationship so it can grow to big and better things. You don't want dragging stuff around and, when did this girl will call me? Oh, she'll call me back. It's like that. If a woman call me on my phone and my phone is around, Hope, hey, I don't have a problem answering. This is his wife. Can I help you?
So you don't get mad with her answering your phone or anything like that?
Oh, absolutely not. No, I give her the code to the phone. You can take the code and get into it. I don't have no problem with that. Get on my iPad.
You ain't got nothing to hide.
Nothing. Absolutely, because yeah. Nope. You don't hear that too often.
You got a good one.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, you don't hear
Hallelujah,
that too often.
girl. Hallelujah for you.
No, because this is our sanctuary.
That's right. It is.
Amen to that.
So when we walk in these doors, there's peace.
It is.
There's love.
Yes, it is.
There's harmony in this house.
That's right.
No confusion.
None.
Confusion stays out. We don't accept. That's not coming in this household.
That's right.
Even when you're married, even when you start meeting friends and other couples and stuff, you want to make sure that the other couple has a solid, sound relationship before we entertain anybody. We want to make sure that that relationship is solid. Because I don't need a couple to come over and they have some differences or some conflicts in their relationship. Then he's looking at my wife. That's gonna be a problem. Oh,
You're
so be
like,
a problem. Oh, no. Exit. You got to go. Stage left. You got to go. No, I wouldn't be, I wouldn't be that abrupt with it at that time, but we'll let them know. No, it's not a good. You all need to get your relationship together because you want to be healthy. Relationships will be healthy, so you can sit down and have some decent conversations. So somebody looking at somebody else. No. That's why we're gonna make sure our relationship always stay healthy.
That's right. Put in the work.
That's right. Put in the work. It's like an investment. You put whatever you put into it, that's what you get out of it. Put nothing in, get nothing out.
That's right.
Simple as that.
Right.
So, Cope, you've heard Verandel say all of that in reference to making sure a woman's secure, telling a man, telling the young dudes and the other men out there, clean it up, clean up your mess, so that way when you connect with a woman, you can ensure that she's secure. And if she got questions, you answer the questions and have nothing to hide.
That's right.
Tell me, Hope, as a woman, been married, divorced, been in different relationships, how, and I follow you, and I on Facebook and your social media, and I'll encourage other people to follow her as well. You know, tell us truly, is it a show? Is it a show or is it real, and why?
Oh, it's definitely real. I've lived a life of show, and show will wear you out. Show, show will have you walking around here looking like a fool. Yeah, I mean, seriously.
Yes.
So no, this is what you see is what you get. I have never been in a space, and I say this, and I say this from out of all sincerity in my heart. I've lived the life before, because you're trying to keep up the appearance, because that's what people expect of you. They don't expect you to have challenges. They don't expect for you. Everything was just this picture perfect life that wasn't picture perfect, because we aren't picture perfect people. We're very imperfectly beautiful souls that God, has allowed us to be, but we're imperfect. And so I try my hardest. I've had people come to me and they say, you tell a lot of your business. I don't tell a lot of my business. Trust me, I don't tell a lot of my business. But I've learned over the years that, sometimes social media will have us jaded. We think that life is just perfect, that we don't have trials, we don't have moments where, we don't like whatever. So I try my hardest to share different aspects of my life. If I'm not having a good day, I mean, y'all seen me, I'm not having a good day today. I want to choke the life out of.
Like the other day, you're like, oh,
no,
this
right.
so
I'm just like, Lord. Really?
Yeah,
But
I cracked up so much. I love to laugh. So, every now and then when I'm looking at you, I just laugh. I thought that was hilarious. Thank you for that
but
laugh.
people need to see that. They need to see, that it is healthy to not have a good day. But how do you process not having a good day? They need to see the highs of relationships. They need to see that, yes, you can, like us, you can wait. You can walk it out the way that God wants, us to walk out a courtship in waiting. You don't have to be out here being loosey booty. You don't have to, and so, but we can get jaded in social media by, again, we fall into this, picture perfect, ideal lifestyle that none of us have. So I forgot your question. I'm going all around the
Oh
world,
no.
but this is
You
what
know.
it is.
Mhm.
This is I am who I can't be anything other than the true authentic hope that I've grown to be. And so if anybody would tell a story, my husband he concur. He's not a co-signer of lies. So he'd be the first to say, you probably need to have a seat right now. That's not true. And one thing about the truth, no matter how many times you tell it, it's the same, it comes out the same way. Lies, you got to kind of figure out, what, did I say that the other day? Did that really happen or whatever? So no, what you see is what you get. I am genuinely happy. I can't even explain this level of joy that I have been living in the last 18 months. Mm-hmm. It's wonderful.
So is it true? You get to take his phone, answer it, and not have no worries, or scroll to see hidden names or numbers or women that.
Yeah, and he has access to anything that I have. My phone. I mean, what up? There's no conflict there. There's no oops. I got to get that call. Let me go take this call in the back. Or no, we flow freely in front of each other.
Yeah, if it's something that she needs to discuss with the son and something that's more private, she'll say, honey, excuse me for a minute. I respect that. I'm not, who is that shit?
Yeah.
And just like she said, I'll have a conversation. I need to have a private conversation with my son.
That's right.
So right then I know who she's talking to.
That's right.
Even if she just said, hey, honey, give me a few minutes, I respect that. Because that's a trust.
And also, that, and you guys have established that from the beginning.
From the beginning.
No third party is coming in.
Absolutely. Right. There are no rivals in the Tucker house.
Oh, she made that clear to
you. None. I don't care who you are. The dog, the cat, the fish, goldfish. Listen, it's all about harmony. Right. It's all about peace and harmony up in here. So I don't care what kind of day we may have had on the outside, but honestly, when we come into the house, when we walk into our sanctuary, as my husband has established that, this is our sanctuary. And so, because I've had the experience of living in unpeaceful situations and environments, and you can't grow, you can't evolve, you can't, be who you are when there is this discontentment in your home and there's, no peace. So we make it a priority. That's our priority, that when we come in the house, we maybe can talk through it. I had a bad day because today I came in and I was like, today was not a good day. It's been a lot. And, but he gave me the time and space to kind of come down and process through. And then before you knew it, I was in here bopping around, right? I was just hopping around. Okay, we got work to do tonight, But it's just a beautiful thing when you have someone who respects your own. We're one, but he respects my individual time and space.
Okay.
So there isn't even a rival between the both of us. Like he's not, I need your time. And if he recognizes that I need some time, he gives me that. And then we come back around and, we all good. Right. And the same with him. If he needs a moment to kind of get himself together, to just kind of de-stress from the day, I'm not going to be in here, but what we doing and this and that, you got to do this and got to do that. No, it's just, no, because at the end of the day, I wake up in peace. We wake up in peace. Right. We go to sleep in peace.
Mm-hmm. And with a good meal every day.
Look, even when it's pizza,
it's a good meal.
I did not make pizza, honey. Domino's delivered tonight. That great, that's all right. Pizza. That great veggie pizza, honey.
That is okay.
Yes. But one thing that she prides in also is cooking.
Yes.
And we both are plant-based eaters.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she experiments all the time.
Yep.
She always asks me a question. Honey, what you want today? I said, whatever you cook.
And he means it.
I said, you fix it, you cook it, I eat it.
There hasn't been one meal, there hasn't been one thing that I've made for this man that he did not eat, did not like. I'm trying to test him. I'm like, he really doesn't mean this, whatever it is. But yeah, whatever it is that's cooked, he eats and he enjoys it thoroughly.
Because if she eats it, I know it's good. So I'm gonna eat it.
I'm trying to kill you.
The insurance policy is paid up.
No, you didn't.
No, you think I'm trying to kill you?
So if she fixes it, I eat it. I said, baby, whatever you fix, I eat it. And she just amazes me with some of the dishes. You probably seen some of the dishes online.
I have.
It blows
Made me want to
my-
become plant-based.
Because we eat for nutritional value.
Yeah.
And everything that she fixed, I'm like, how did she come up with this? Between the cauliflower and quinoa, and I mean, just everything is just, I'm like, my goodness, I'm enjoying this. This is wonderful. I can't
So
tell you
God
everything she
bless
fixed because
He said, God bless you with a jewel. You are
Hallelujah.
obedient. You are obedient, and
Listen,
God bless you.
That's right. He will reward you.
He will give you desires of your heart. That's right.
He will give you the desires of your
Everything
heart.
that I prayed for,
Yes, he will.
I have.
Amen. Amen.
Everything that I prayed for. Now I'm gonna tell you, I have my moments when I just one-on-one with God's like, God, I'm still in shock that this is something. When we first was like, baby, we married. We's married. We are actually married. This has happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like, this is good. This is good.
This is wonderful. This
is the Lord's doing.
This is
and it's marvelous in his sight.
It's marvelous and it's good.
Yes, yes.
People actually said, "Tell how's marriage life?" I said, "Man, it's wonderful." So I love it every day. Every day, it is wonderful. But you know, you wait for about 5 years, see if you say the same thing. No. I'm not even gonna put that in my spirit. I'm not gonna put that in my spirit. Every day is for me because this is our sanctuary. That's right. Every day is gonna be a good day.
That's right.
Because we have built that foundation. Yeah. So every day is a good day. So excuse me. So it's good.
Well, it has been a pleasure to talk to the both of you and to hear your story. As we get ready to close out, I want both of you to share a message to men and women, single and married. However you want to share it. Like I said, this is unscripted. You know, however you want to share it to encourage singles, you know, women that are struggling and men that don't know. This is an education tool to help our world to be a better place.
That's right.
What would you say to them? And both of you can say whatever you want.
You want me to
I'll let you go first.
Okay. Well, you know, because you know I'm that preacher's girl. The God's word means everything to me. There was a point in time in my life where I wasn't a doer of the word. I heard it and I didn't do it. But one scripture I will never forget. This has been in my spirit from the time I was a little girl and I had to learn the scripture, but it became very real to me. And we hear it all the time, Proverbs 3, 4, and 5. Proverbs 3 verses 4 and 5, where it says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not into your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him and he will direct your path. There was a point in time where I didn't trust. But when I had my woman in the mirror moment, you know, at age 47, had my woman in the mirror moment, you know, I realized how far I had strayed away from that verse, that the soundness of that scripture, trusting in the Lord with all your heart. There is nothing, God wants to get the good to his children. And the way to that good is trusting him and not trusting in ourselves. I've learned that, you know, trusting in myself has led me down paths that I wasn't supposed to be on. Trusting in my own ability, trusting in my own way has led me down paths that ended up in me having to, you know, kind of go through a healing journey that I necessarily didn't even have to go through had I followed God's way. So trusting the Lord with all your heart, leaning not into your own understanding will lead you to exactly who God wants for you. If it's your desire to be married, single woman, trust the Lord. What does trusting the Lord look like? Aligning your life according to what He has laid out for us. There's so much that has been laid out for us that, you know, we have to choose to walk in the way. It's a choice. You know, we can choose to do our own thing or we can choose to do His way. I've learned over the years, most recently, the last year and a half, trusting God's way and doing it His way has been nothing more than a blessing to my life. It has, you know, brought a greater level of peace, a greater level of strength, a greater level of joy, a greater level of just understanding who I am by trusting God's way. So that's all I have. Just trust God's way. Trust God's way. That's it.
And seek ye first the kingdom of God.
Oh, you came to preach too. You came to preach.
All things will be added unto you. That's one of my favorite ones. And to the men, ladies who we're talking to, I have to concur with everything that she said. Just trust Him and be true to yourself. As I've stated several times, be true to yourself. Understand who you are as an individual. What are you willing to put up with, whatever you're not? Don't make sacrifices in life. We make at a certain point in life, yes, throughout life, in younger days, we made sacrifices. We've done certain things and we just out there doing certain things. But as you get older, put away the childish things.
Come on. Come on.
A man becomes a man at some point. You have to grow up. Maturity is everything. You've done this, it didn't work. Why keep doing the same thing? If that's your desire to be married, put away the childish things.
That's right.
Because it would not work.
That's right.
And just have to honor and respect not your mate and yourself.
That's right.
That integrity. Respect yourself. That's important. Look at you and ask yourself, are you satisfied with what you just did? With your decision? Are you really satisfied? If you're not, be transparent with yourself. And say, no, I'm not happy with myself. What do you need to do differently? Seek God.
That's right.
And He will order yourself. Just seek Him and pray and pray and pray. Pray and fast. It'll make a difference. Because God, the Holy Spirit, will show you.
He will.
He will show you. He showed me to go back out and find that lady. and I honored Him and I respected Him during that time. But just, you know, besides that, just be honest and true to yourself. That's all, you know, that's basically just understand who you are as an individual and be true to yourself. Because a lot of times we mask, we put on that mask and we really don't know who we really are. We really don't. Pull that mask off and be transparent and honest with yourself. And He will give you that virtuous woman. He will. He will. But you have to be ready to accept it.
That's right.
You have to be ready to accept it. And when it comes, just throw your hands up and say, Lord, I thank you. And just because we all gonna leave this earth. It's about how you leave. So just be true to yourself. Just respect yourself, be true to yourself, and respect others. Live a good, clean, healthy life. That's pretty much it. I mean, I go on and on and on. I can talk, but I'll stop there. Because we have really enjoyed this conversation. And hope other people will be able to enjoy it and and get something out of it and really take it to heart and understand that this is coming from our hearts
That's right.
as one,
That's right.
because we're on one accord.
That's right.
And that's the way it should be. That's the only way that it's gonna be.
That's right.
And that's the way that God designed us to be. He designed us to be on one accord. He didn't design us to be separate. Man should have a good woman in his life, a wife in his life. He don't want us to be alone. Yeah, so it's good. You good, babe? I'm good.
And God said it was all good.
And it is. Hallelujah.
It is.
Look, December the 12th, I was able to unleash.
Amen, girl. Amen. Satisfy that flesh. Say,
It's all good.
good.
It's all good.
Hallelujah.
Undefiled over here.
Yes.
Say,
Give me
in
the
marriage,
desires of your heart.
in the marriage bed, it is a beautiful thing.
Look, the bed, the kitchen, the corner,
So before God, it's a blessing.
Yes.
No
And he
shame
has
in it.
poured, look, and he has poured out a blessing.
Amen to that.
Yes, he has. Amen.
Well,
Yes.
I just want to say thank you to both of you for your transparency, for your honesty, and just for your willingness to share with others, as well as to minister to others about the beauty of relationship as well as singleness. It is my prayer that both singles as well as married people will understand that when it comes down to it, it comes down to respect,
That's
it comes
right.
down to trust and security if you want peace in
That's
the
That's
right.
right.
home and communication. My goal is to educate others because I know the day that I marry, I expect to keep the peace that I have in my sanctuary.
That's right. That's
You know, when
right.
I come in my home, I intend to keep that peace. So when
That's right.
the Lord blesses me, I will intend to keep my peace. And this, and I love how the two of you have shared how your home is your sanctuary and your home is your peaceful place.
It
This
is
is
that.
something I would always tell my children, when I come home, home is my sanctuary. I don't want to know that there was 100 people up in my home,
That's
because
right.
I don't need all those spirits up in my home,
Hello.
you know?
That's
And
right.
so when I come home, it is peace. And my children, even now, as they're older, they talk about their home being their sanctuary, their home being their peaceful place. And that I want that to continue. So I thank you for sharing how you have kept your home to be peaceful
That's
and to
right.
be that sanctuary, knowing no matter what kind of day you have, you can come home. Baby, I got you.
That's right.
Let me hug you.
That's right. And don't
Wait a minute, he just like a pastor. I got one more. You just close. You have a
Go ahead. Go ahead. No, go
I'm
ahead.
leaving.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna leave it.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
You know, even when we moved into this house,
Uh-huh.
another thing that impressed me about her, I really had to say this because it's really important how we work together as a team.
Yeah.
She loves to paint. I didn't know she loves to paint. We painted
Very
the whole
therapeutic
house.
for me. Yes.
We painted the whole house together.
Wow.
It was a time that she came by she called me and said, honey, I feel like painting today. I'm gonna come pick up the key and go to the house and paint. I was like, huh? She said, yeah, I feel like
This
painting.
was before we got married.
This was before we got married. So when you find that person to work together and don't work on projects together too. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to mess up your
Oh
clothes.
no. Oh no.
Look, you see that wall behind, honey? I textured
Yes.
it and everything, honey. Textured
Girl,
and everything.
it's pretty. It's pretty. It is. It is.
She's a worker. She doesn't mind doing it. Doesn't mind at all. But we do honor and respect everything that you said in your even in your closing. We thank you for that. We thank you.
It is my pleasure, and it is my honor to be able to have you guys up here. I've enjoyed to laugh. I love to laugh, over silly and um, funny things and so forth. And I'm a very transparent person. There are sides of me people don't know. I can, when in Rome, I can be whatever Rome wants me to be. You
All
know,
right. All right. That's good. That's good.
and so I try to always remember the social media platform can also be hard. It can be ridiculing and a troll.
That's
And
right.
so sometimes I have to remember I can't be too real, even though my intention is to be real with people
Mhm.
and address issues that people have a hard time talking about and addressing because the world is so about entertaining.
Mhm.
Lives are entertaining, and
Mhm.
it's okay to be entertaining, to always make it seem like you either real ghetto and street and whatever and drama filled, or oh, I am so perfect and my life is, and that's not real to me.
That's
um
right.
and, and so I appreciate when people are able to be real and talk their truth, and it is my prayer that no matter what I bring on, and I do understand I have to be cautious of what I bring on. I don't always like to do that, but I am understanding sometimes the world is just not ready for too real,
That's right.
That's right.
You're
you
right.
know. And,
Yeah.
and so I also have to protect the people that I bring on. So I just want to say thank you.
Thank you for
Even
having
with
us.
even with the technological issue. Why don't you
So
show us that cologne as we are exiting and world? I hope you enjoy.
Veranda signature.
Where can they find that, Hope?
Details on Granby.com. You can email us at vstuckersignature@gmail.com. That's right. Find us on Facebook, VS Tucker Signature.
And you give us your word. It smells good, world.
Listen, honey, listen. It's real good. And we're excited about the entire grooming line that is coming very soon, very,
Yes.
very, very soon. So it will not just be this wonderful cologne, it'll be some other grooming products that, yeah, keeps
For
you.
romance style.
Hello, somebody. Look, you want you a man? Buy
No, no,
some
no.
Miranda's future
No, no,
and
no.
just
The
spread it
man.
there.
No, the man should be saying, Veranda should be saying, you want a good woman? There you
That's
go.
right. That's right. This is the secret formula.
Look, this man has me out, and I'm not just saying it because it's my husband's. But I will sit literally. I was in the office today. True story, true story. My maintenance director walked in on me. He said, "What are you doing?" I have a bottle and I sprayed it on. He said, "What are you doing?" I said, I need my husband close to me. And I sprayed it on, and he looked at me. He was like, "Are you serious right now?" I said, "Yeah. When you gonna get a bottle?"
You keeping your husband nice and close to you.
Listen.
Girl, I am not mad
Exactly.
at you. I am not mad at you. Okay,
Look,
Lord,
I even
you
have
got
it in the car, honey. Have it in the car. Anytime I'm having
what?
a little moment, seriously. I have a little moment. I just take a little dab. I put some on. I
You're
smell it, and
like,
I said,
let me
"My
smell my
husband is
husband.
right here." That's right. My husband is right here with me. He got me. He got me.
And that's when you know a
Come
man got
on.
a woman secure and he has taken all the doubts of the
That's
hesitation
right.
out.
That's right.
Because all the women I know, that's what they looking for. A man to help them feel secure, knowing that ain't no other woman going to take your place. No other woman going, cause me to disrespect you
That's right.
or anything,
That's
and
right.
to know that even just the aroma of a cologne reminds you of that security. That
Mm.
is a testament of how secure emotionally and psychologically that man has made you. And praise be to God that God
Honey,
has blessed at least one woman.
That's right.
right? Well, I know a couple women that have good men and everything, but praise be to God, that
Amen.
He has blessed you for this next whatever, how many years and
That's
That's
right.
right.
decades.
That's
That
right.
may God continue to bless y'all with happiness and love and joy,
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
and may y'all continue to help others find love and joy, both the men and the woman, and
That's
knowing
right.
that they don't have to do it the entertaining world way, but
Absolutely.
That's right.
God's way. So
That's
thank you
right.
so much again for being on. With that being said, everybody, Dr. Shirley out.
Good
Peace and love.
Peace and
night.
love. Thank you very much.